Joining us for the latest managerial interview is Joint Manager John Underwood. John, how disappointed are you with today's game? Not only the score, but also the performance?
Yeah, incredibly disappointed, obviously. I want to say something before I talk about us, because I think the danger is I get very negative about our performance, and I think they deserve huge credit before I start. They've had a terrible week. It's been documented. They've had their budget cut. Manager's had got a real tough job on his hands. He's got a lot of young players in there, a few experienced ones, but a lot of young players, and they've had a difficult week. And they've come here, and I thought they were absolutely brilliant from 1 to 11, miles better than us. And I just think they deserve credit first and foremost, because everyone will focus on us and our performance, which was really poor. But I think also it has to be recognised how good they were. I thought for a side at the bottom of the league, I thought they were first to everything. I thought they played some great football. They thoroughly deserved their win. So first of all, congratulations to them, because they thoroughly deserved their 3 points. Us, for whatever reason, we were miles off it from the first minute. I mean, I think Jack made 2 saves in the first 5 minutes, and we didn't learn. We were second to everything. Me and Bake stood on the sidelines, and we saw them win the first ball, the second ball, the third ball. They had more hunger, more desire than us. The biggest, we just said in there a week ago, we sat in the changing room at Dorking, having put in a performance full of all of those things: desire, hard work, quality. And a week later, we've won points last week that, with half an hour to go, people wouldn't have backed us to get, and we've picked up some bonus points last week, and then we've just thrown them away today by our inability to perform in a game like this. And can't pick out individuals. There's certain individuals that were worse than others. I think I heard Josh got man of the match, and I think probably agree with that. I think he was a 6 out of 10, and he was our best player today. That says a lot about what we felt, what we think of our performance. So we were 3s, 4s and 5s out of 10. There's some shocking performances.
How would you explain Hungerford? They're bottom of the table. They played absolutely fantastic. Was there too much complacency maybe in the team, that they thought that they didn't, after last week, they just needed to turn up and maybe didn't give Hungerford the credit that they should have done at the start?
Maybe it's the obvious thing to think. It's what we spoke about Thursday night at training, before and after training. We didn't harp on about it today, because you can go on about it too much. But they knew what they knew Hungerford weren't going to come and lie down. Some teams come here that are in the bottom end of the table, and a point's a good result for them. But Hungerford needed to win today. They are a little bit adrift, and they needed to win. So we knew they wouldn't just sit back, and then they didn't. They came, and they were really positive. How they got that performance, how Ian Herring got that performance out of his team today, I don't know, because they were magnificent, and every bit as good they were, we were really bad, and you have to maybe put it down to mentality, because we just said in there we haven't prepared any differently. We prepared for this game like we prepare for all games. It was a familiar looking lineup, the way we played, to what's got us where we are. These players have played, and the boys that started today, they've all been a big part of why we are where we are in the league. And so I think you can only put it down to mentality. It's you say work rate potentially, but that kind of starts in your head, being on the front foot, going and shutting people down, and winning your second balls, and from the first minute they won everything. And performance came out of nowhere. I'm saying we know we're not going to be brilliant every week, but one thing we pride ourselves on is hard work, and we didn't have that today. And we weren't competitive today, and we did create some chances, and for all what I've just said, we ended up having some good chances as the game wore on. Robbo's had his header. I think Warren headed it back across goal. 10 minutes to go, and Robbo, I don't know how he hasn't headed it in the back of the net, and he puts that in. 10 minutes to go, plus what he played about 8 minutes. So there's probably 18 minutes to go at that point. We might have got a point that we'd have no way deserved, but he heads that one in, and we have a chance, and we couldn't even do that today. We couldn't even put away a simple chance. So we got exactly what we deserved.
Didn't really make the goalkeeper work, apart from a shot from Matt Lynch from about 20 yards out, which forced a good save.
Yeah.
But everything else was just wide. And
yeah,
is lazy the wrong word to use, or just
bit sloppy, a bit casual
Yeah.
at times. Yeah, I mean that effort was a good shot, and he held it brilliantly with one hand. I don't know how he held on to that. It was a great save, but we didn't test him enough. I thought we put a lot of good ball in the box first half, and I didn't think we didn't attack it well enough. Too many balls. They were winning the first header, and the second ball was dropping to them. Time and time again, their anticipation. They were playing on the front foot. All the things you wouldn't expect from a youngish side struggling at the bottom. All things you wouldn't expect. They found today, and all the things you'd expect from a team like us, confident, high up in the league. You didn't get from us today. So I guess that is football. That's why football never, doesn't always go to form. Clearly, we've not performed well here against the bottom 6-7 sides. We've dropped a lot of points against sides that are lower down, and so we need to address that. As management team, we'll look at ourselves, but I don't think we did anything different to how in games that we've been winning. And so you have to look at it and say maybe subconsciously the players are turning up 10-20% off where they should be, which is poor, because they should know better than that. This league's not a league where anyone gives you points, and if that was the case today, then that's really poor from us.
Are you concerned that your home form, maybe from the start of the year, hasn't been maybe as good as your away form that performance at Dorking, the one at Welling? You're putting in the performances away from home, but for some reason at home,
well, it's weird.
You're not getting the same.
First part of the season, we had a great record at home, and we're probably a bit mixed away from home, and then it switched. And this always happens in football, and managers can never put their finger on it unless there's something really specific about their pitch or a reason why. This happens, and we don't know why we were not getting the results away from home early in the season, and we don't know now why this is happening. And I would say generally we've done well here against the sides higher up the table, and maybe the way we set up, the way we play, is more suited to sort of tight games against good sides. And I clearly don't mean that Hungerford aren't a good side, because they were brilliant today, but the sides higher up in the table, I think, maybe come here generally in a more attacking, whereas the lower teams come and sit. And I say not today, but as a general comment, teams lower down come here wanting to get a point, and the Havants and the Weymouths and things, they will come and have a go at you, and I think that probably suits us a bit more. But so I don't know, probably is the answer. It's one of these things that happens in football, and I guess if we are able to get in the playoffs, and that's not a given, and if we keep playing like that, we'll struggle. But we can't overreact, because last week we were on top of the world and we'd had a brilliant win, and we were like, right, let's finish second or third and talk about home playoffs. And we've got to improve quickly. We've got obviously Bucks and Bucks game here Tuesday, which we need to think wisely about who plays. And then we've got a massive game next Saturday down at Weymouth, one of our playoff rivals, and we go down there and lose, and it starts to put some pressure on us. So we need to be much better next week than we were this week.
John, thank you very much for your honesty.
Okay.
Not the result we wanted,
No.
but try and have a good weekend.
Thanks, Aid.
Thanks a lot. Cheers.